I think about this question all the time. It's ridiculous that, you can, instead of telling your friends like a week ahead of time, like this is what we're going to do, meet me here, you can now just get in touch with them right away. Like, hey, we're doing this, come over, we're here right now. Or, I'll come by and pick you up. It's, very fast and definitely helps for friends.
Definitely change. I mean, you can see everyone just text messaging and emailing, and they spend so much time in the computer. They forget just having, free time for themselves, and it's just like 10 years ago, I'm sure people used to read a lot and, I don't know, like go out, but now it's all about computers.
Just cell phones. I know with my friends, you're always in touch, and that's changed a lot. It's made life a lot easier and a lot more fun.
Oh, technology's made a huge impact. Suddenly we can communicate with anyone we want to, send picture messages. It's really cool. I'm a tourist in New York. I can send a picture message to anyone I want to instantly.
There's a lot less actual personal communication with somebody. It's so much easier to just call somebody or text somebody or I am somebody. It makes communication a lot faster, a lot easier. There's a lot less need to actually go talk to someone.
It's done wonders, but again, as I've mentioned before, there's a serious problem in this country with the abuse of technology and then using it for sinister deeds.
We're consumed by it. If we don't have our cell phones, I know when my cell phone broke, I was in like hyper panic mode. If we don't have technology, we probably wouldn't be able to survive.
Technology has changed so drastically that you don't even have to leave your house to communicate with everybody around the world.
I think technology hasn't changed. I think adolescents and whatnot are the same. Technology just changes the way they interact with one another.
Technology has actually made people less intuitive to other people. It kind of makes us secluded and isolated, and we can sit at our own house for hours at an end and not talk to anybody and be okay with it. I like sitting alone. I like me time, so it's good to a certain extent, but I also like people.
Unfortunately, you see a lot of fat people in America today. And you look back in the older days, when even 10, 20 years ago, more kids outside doing things. Now with the internet, now with all the different media stuff that we have, different television shows, different video game consoles or whatever, kids don't get outside anymore. It's unfortunate. And if you encourage them to play sports a little more, it'd be a better thing.
I think we're more secluded because we can just stay in our little house and we don't go anywhere, and we stay and text or call our close friends instead of like walking over to their house, or you don't really go out, you just stay and talk.
I'd say they're definitely lazier because 10 years ago, if you wanted to talk to somebody, you'd call them on the phone, and now there's none of that because people are sitting there talking on their text messaging or whatnot. And I think it's also made people a lot more impersonal and unsocial because, like I said, if you're walking around, you see all those people with their cell phones out just walking, and they'll completely ignore everybody. Or you see the kids on road trips with their iPods in, and it's like 10 years ago, you'd sit and you'd talk with your parents, you'd make up stories, and it wasn't like everything was right there. I mean, you had to be creative. And also, 10 years ago, it was starting to get to the point where it is now, but wasn't near as bad as far as like cell phone use and all that. Because like back then, if you went somewhere, people couldn't get a hold of you, and that was okay. Now you call somebody on their cell phone, they don't answer, you start freaking out because now it's like there's no personal time anymore. You can't just get away from everything. And so I think it's started to stress people out a lot more.
I think it's just made it easier to do more things. You communicate more with people, you get more accomplished in a quicker amount of time. I've gotten in contact with, just through MySpace and Facebook, with people that I went to school with when I was in 6th grade in California, across the country, so it's pretty cool.
I think now we have a lot, we're faster at communicating with each other. Let's say I would ask you to dinner tonight, I can quickly give you a text instead of having to send a telegram or something, and you could easily respond back to me as fast as you would.
I think people have gotten lazier with it, just staying inside on the computer and everything.
I think it's made them lazier, but I also think that it's made them better equipped for bad situations, such as being able to call someone in a time of emergency or being able to look something up on the internet for something on school the next day. So I think it's helped us.
A lot. There's cars now. They're hybrids. They're coming out the brand new phones. The iPhone. That's going crazy now. Computers now. There's a whole different world of computers right now. So it's changing a lot.